up, YouTube? It's Marissa and Edrian, and we're actually in his room this time. If you haven't seen our collab that we filmed in my room, then I will link it down below so you can watch that. Today we're going to talk about post-grad life and just how we have handled it so far and what it's like, and any advice that we can offer you, because it's not easy and it's very scary and it's very sad sometimes, but we're here to tell you, almost 2 years later after graduation, that we're alive and
we're thriving.
We're thriving, at least as much as we possibly can. So let's get into it. I'm gonna let Edrian go first. I guess if you were to sum up post-grad life, I'm not gonna say one word, but in a couple sentences, how would you describe it?
How would I sum it up?
Yeah, sum it up.
Okay. That's actually hard because there's a lot. First of all, I would just say it's a beautiful journey. It's a really, I mean, initially I was gonna say it's a beautiful mess, but I think I changed that mess to journey. Because then journey has a much better connotation to it anyway. So that's really, I think, how I'd sum it up.
Yeah. How I would sum up post-grad life is I would sum up post-grad life as, honestly, confusing. Confusing is probably the best word I can describe it. Just because it's once you're done with college, you really are thrown out into the real world. Up until that point, your whole life has been structured. You went through elementary to high school to college, if you went to college, and then you kind of just thrown into the world and hopefully get a job. But if you're a creative, that's usually not the thing. You usually are probably a freelancer, or you have to get a day job and then try to do your creative stuff on the side. And that's kind of that sums up that kind of sums up my journey, where it's I went to school for film and wanting to make movies, but once I graduated, it was I kind of had my quarter life crisis, where it's okay, I have this degree now in film production, but what do I do with it? And not only that, but it's how do I make money? Because it's I now have student debt and I have to provide for myself and so on and so forth. So it's how do I use this degree but also support myself financially? And I know that's a common, that I think everyone goes through that, whether you're a creative or not. Mm-hmm. And so it's scary because it's oh, this is real now. So yeah. Do you have anything else? Okay. I meant to start this timer so we don't have to talk forever. I'm gonna start
you're good.
Minutes now.
Actually, I should have closed the door too.
A good amount.
My big booty need her, so.
No, you're fine. It's sweaty.
Yeah. Well,
we're sweaty in this video.
Yeah, sorry, my room is hot. So going back to what I said about it, my experience being a beautiful journey, because, within the last 2 years that I have been, almost 2 years actually, that I've been away from college, I learned so much about myself that right after I graduated, I was already depressed. Really, I was already depressed. So then I went into my first full-time job, which I was really grateful because finally, after surviving or after struggling to find a job in general, landing my freaking first full-time job with paid benefits and everything, and I was I'll take it, So within the 8 months that I did that last year in 2018, I learned so much about myself, but more so what I was not willing to put up with in terms of settling and in terms of earning money.
Yeah.
Throughout that time, I realized that yes, it is very important to get a job so you could feed yourself, but if you're, if you've completely pushed and neglected the other side of you, if you're someone who's a creative, artistic person, if you've pushed that away just so you could earn a living, I think from my personal experience, you're doing yourself a disservice by doing that, because then you have all this money, but then more or less you're gonna become unhappy and hopefully not depressed from doing that. So I've really learned to really find a balance, because I'm trying not to take too long either, but I mean it's really been a journey, and like, so I left that job and decided to pursue freelance, being a freelance creative full time. That worked out for a bit too. So I like the first half of the year I did like the full-time job, and then the end of the year I did a full-time creative thing. I had more time to myself. Then I realized, I'm like, you know what, it's also not good to be a struggling artist, even though yes, I lived at home.
Yeah.
So I guess just to sum it up, like I've now, as we're speaking, I'm working a full-time job as a caregiver, which I really love, brings so much satisfaction to my life. And I'm also a full-time content creator. Yeah. And there's like, the balance is so amazing. You know, so that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I mean, I totally resonate with that. Like, balance and like just finding structure in your life is probably the hardest thing, because again, like up until you graduate college or graduate high school,
structure was like pushed.
Like you had that, like it was in place for you, and you're like so used to it. Whereas like once you're graduated, you have to figure out that all of that on your own, and like hopefully you have a job, and like maybe it's a 9-to-5 job, and like that's structure.
It's good too.
And I mean, I think people talk about all the time how like 9-to-5 is like miserable, and well, it kind of is. But I mean, besides that, like just finding like, okay, what is it that you want to do, and what is it that you don't want to do. But I think more important than that, like challenges too, where it's like post-grad life gets like, I think it gets super lonely, because also what's so different is that like I think in college, like you're always around peers, and like whether they're your friends or like they're just people that are studying the same thing.
It's a very social experience.
Yeah, whereas like once you're in real world, it's like you have your family,
your coworkers,
and then your coworkers, and like hopefully you make friends with your coworkers.
Yes, please.
But like it's so hard to like meet people and like have a social life, for one because you're already busy, but also two, it's like you're not in an environment anywhere where it's like encouraged to just like go out and like meet like-minded people. You're just in the world, and it's just like how are you supposed to make friends? It's like it's really weird.
Weird is such a good term that resonates with me. I don't know, like, and
I know this is not just like a post-grad life thing, but I think it's just like, again, like you're so used to being like, go to college, you are with people, basically your same age. I mean, there's a lot of different ages in college.
Yes, yeah.
But then once you're out there, it's like you're just in the world, and it's like, what the hell am I doing most of the time? So yeah, I would say like biggest challenges is like finding that structure and the balance in your life, and then two, just like having a social life and like meeting new people, and like outside of like your already contained family and like the friends that you already have, and then your coworkers. But also, I mean, I think a big struggle for me too is this like realizing that since there isn't really like an overarching structure, because it's like you're in school, you go to school for 9 months, you have a break in the winter and the summer, and then you do it all again the next year. Whereas now it's like you're in life. There's
no more summer break.
Yeah, there's no summer break. There's no winter break.
Breaks,
hopefully you get a good amount of vacation time, but
paid,
it's
hopefully.
not. But it's not like that anymore. And it's just like again finding like what you want your life to look like.
Yes.
And it's always changing. Like it's always changing. Like you never know what's gonna happen, and just finding a balance.
Yes.
In all of it is so hard. And I guess instead of just like talking about like how hard it is, like how do you feel like you've achieved balance, or like found a way through this whole process, because it's just like an ongoing process.
Yes.
It's just, I mean, it's life. Like we're just in life now.
Yeah. Yes. Life after college. Yeah. We've been living the whole time.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to say that after being away for 2 years, I'm glad. I'm so glad that I'm actually out of college, because I can put the time that I would use for homework and studying, going to school, then instead just goes to work. And then after that, it's like, it's my time. I'm like, I get to go to sleep. I get to work on my art. I get to hang out with friends. Actually, going back to what you're saying about social, like if you're struggling socially, I would say meetup.com. This is not a sponsored video,
That's
but
how I met him.
Yes, officially. Meetup.com, they have a lot of like different groups or like things you can check out. So meetup.com. But I mean, I think just really prioritizing too. That's what I would say. Prioritizing and being okay with not being okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have like any one big tip because again, it's just we're just in life now. I think it's just very important to identify what is important to you and aligning yourself with that and understanding that like that can change in a matter of months, a matter of weeks, and sometimes in a matter of days, like what is important to you. And I think in your 20s, you focus on your career, and like obviously I do think like that's probably the main thing you're gonna focus on because like you're gonna build a career that can hopefully sustain you into your 30s, 40s, however long. But also like I think a lot of us can agree like whatever you believe in,
Yes.
like at the end of the day, like whatever you believe in, I think the life that we have on this earth is made meaningful through relationships. So the people in your life, like I think that's the most important thing. And obviously the relationship yourself is the utmost important. That too, self-love, self-care.
Yes.
Like don't forget to take care of yourself. It's so easy to kind of like we're so young and like people like always like hustle, but like also like don't kill yourself. Working too hard for something. I'm not saying like you shouldn't work hard
for the
should.
paper.
Yeah, but like also like take care of yourself.
Be gentle.
But yeah, I think at the end of the day, it really comes down to like what is it you want out of this life. And I'm not saying like you're gonna figure it out at 25 because I definitely don't have it figured out at all.
It does get better at 27, just saying.
I mean, but also like
25 too, just saying was like I feel you.
But like things change all the time, and it's just knowing when you need to take a step back and realize like what's important to you and not feeling guilty for choosing yourself over things that people say, oh, this is what you should be doing right now, or so on and so forth. Like you gotta listen to yourself, and I would even go further say like don't just be like logical or practical. Like sometimes it is like important to be logical and practical about things,
because
but also
it keeps us safe.
But also don't like deny your dreams, and also like I know it sounds so freaking cheesy, but like don't ignore your heart and your intuition about certain situations or certain people, because like I can not think of a certain situation where my heart like steered me wrong. I don't think that's what people talk about. It's always just like what's gonna make you most money, what's gonna make you most successful. It's like it's not always about that. And I don't think it should always be. That's important for sure, but like it's not just about your paycheck or your accomplishments. It's about how you're aligning with what you perceive to be your best life, and it's okay to change like that definition. Again, you can change it month by month, and that's okay, and just like making peace with the fact that like you can plan all you want, and I'm not saying you shouldn't, but like if things don't go according to plan, know that that's like the only constant, is that things will change, and it's just again going back to balance. You have to find your footing moment by moment, and just knowing that you'll be okay, you'll figure it out. And the people that you surround yourself with should be supportive of that, and
should actually just finish what you're saying, just to motivate you to become better. Like that's actually one of my biggest, I feel like, accomplishments thus far of my post-grad. It's really making the decision to like reach out to finding people that will like actually motivate me to be better than myself, because from my experiences, I feel like I'm usually that person that motivates people. And I was like, I'm drained, I'm tired, I need some love too. So and look, we ended up here making this video. So
again, like we're trying to give you like practical tips. None of this is easy. I think it really just comes down to like knowing yourself and knowing what you want, knowing what's good for you. and just adding as many good things to your life as you possibly can.
To your bowl.
Because you got one life, and you know, if you're not living it in alignment with who you are and what your heart wants, then, you know, what's the point? What's the point?
Yeah. She said it. I'm speechless.
Okay, I think we went like way over than.
It's good. This is what it needs to be.
Me and Adrian, like, we're just like, if anything, we should make this a weekly, not weekly, but you know, a regular thing where we're just gonna riff on topics just because like we gotta do it. Anyways, I'm Marissa Roxas. This is
Edrian Pangilinan.
Plug yourself.
Yes. You can find me under Edrian Pangilinan. I'm sure it'll be linked down below because my full name is very hard to spell.
Yeah, I will link all of his socials everywhere. If you don't know, I'm Marissa Roxas. I'm a filmmaker from San Diego, California. Thank you for watching, and we will see you very soon.